You coming out real quick? Yeah, I got you for sure. Appreciate it, man.
What's going on? This is Fadenatics back with another haircut tutorial, and in this video my client asked for a mid taper with enhancements following up with the pencil. Now here you see I have the number 2 guard lever all the way open, meaning the lever's all the way down just to clear up all the excess hair or the bulk that I really don't need. Also helps me to see my guidelines and also my blend. Following up, I'll be using my trimmers to put in my indication line, indicating where my taper or my fade will start. And using this trimmer, I'll clean up all the excess. Since he doesn't want his beard lined up, he wants it removed. I'll be removing with the same trimmer all the excess hair. After I cleaned all the hair or the beard, I'll be following that up also with the foil shavers just to get a real nice clean as close as possible to the skin. Now you see my first guideline will be lever all the way open. The lever will be all the way down. And with this guideline, I like to go a little bit more than a finger's width just to give me enough room to get that nice clean transition, that blend from the baldness to the blend leading all the way to the top. Now I have the number 1 guard lever still all the way open, meaning the lever's all the way down, creating my next guideline about a finger's width. As you can see, I'm utilizing that corner of that blade. It's not fully tilted to its side. It's more at an angle, kind of flat, kind of not. And also using the flicking motion. You always want to flick instead of digging straight up. With the same guard, number 1, I'm going down just to lay down the hairs. As you can see at the beginning, I use a number 2 guard just to clear the side out a little bit, remove all that bulk, and I'll be now using number 1 guard to come down on it just to get all the access. And now here I have the number 1.5 all the way open, lever still down, meaning it's all the way down, creating my next guideline blending into that number 2 at the very top. You can see I'm using half of that blade. I'm not fully using the full blade, but I'm using half of that blade to create my guidelines, and also using that flicking motion to get that nice transition. So you can see you barely see any lines, which because I'm utilizing that flicking motion, it helps me to blend out those lines better. Now if I was to go straight in, you will see those going straight in will be more of me digging into the hair, creating harsh lines that will be a lot harder to take out, to remove. So as I use the flicking motion setting in my guidelines, is creating a softer guideline. Here I have that half guard. The lever will be in the middle, so that'll also be halfway, hitting that middle line. So with the 1.5 guard or the half guard, lever halfway will help me soften up that middle line. Now you see the lever's all the way closed, meaning the lever's all the way up, and now I'll be removing that middle line. A lot of times with the lever all the way closed, it won't remove completely the middle line. So as you see here, I'm doing a little lever play. I'll be halfway and then closing. But if that middle line is still there, now you see that the lever's off. That the guard is off. I'm going in with no guard. The lever is still halfway, meaning it's in the middle. Now you'll see I'm tilting the clipper to its side, going back to that middle line that I used the 0.5 with to soften up, and I'm going through that line with no guard halfway to clear out the rest of that line. And now I have the lever closed, meaning the lever's all the way up, just to take out that very bottom line. You can see I'm utilizing the tilting. I'm flicking and tilting the clipper to its side. Now by holding the clipper, as you see here, to its side, I'm only using the very corner of the clipper, which allows me to go a little bit higher because I'm not using the full blade. So I'm able to go a little bit higher, as you see here. The more I open the blade, or the more I lowered the lever, the higher I'm able to go. Not digging, but using the flicking motion as I'm utilizing that corner of that blade, hitting those dark spots as you see here. I don't like to rush my tapers. I don't like to rush my haircuts. See, I'm taking my time here, making sure that the blend is to my liking. Now here I'll be going in with my liners to line up. I like to start at the very top, as you see there, and work my way down. As you see, I start to curve. Sometimes I like to indicate where my line is going to go, and once I set my indication line at the very top, I can kind of vision the rest of the lineup, and I just follow what I vision. Now here, as you see, the same steps I use at the side. So I used I believe that was number 2 guard, just to kind of bring all the hairs down, just kind of lay it down a bit. I'm using my trimmers to set in my indication line, indicating where my taper in the back is going to start, following it up with the foil shavers just to get it that nice clean to the close to the skin look. Now I already went in with the lever, or I actually forgot to record the lever all the way open, no guard. So you see here with the number 1 guard following the no guard. You can see I already went in with the no guard all the way open. I went in with the number 1 guard all the way open. Now I'm going in with 1.5 all the way open, lever all the way down. Now, I don't want to dig into the hair at the very top because all that hair is kind of long. I don't want to accidentally cut off the long hairs, so I'm just flicking. Now you see that with the lever all the way open, meaning the lever is all the way down with the 1.5 guard, I'll be closing the lever, meaning the lever will be all the way up, using the 1.5 just to go right below that bulk line, just to soften things up right below, as you can see here. Now as I'm pointing out here, I'll be going with the 1.5 or the half guard, lever halfway in the middle, and I'll be going to soften that line up. As you can see it slowly disappearing. You can see it as I was showing you the corner of the blade using that flicking motion. Little by little, I'll work in sections, work on one side, working my way all the way to the right side. As you can see, I'm not laying the blade fully. I'm using half of that blade. So by creating that C motion, you're going through the line and pulling out, pretty much. That flicking motion is the C motion, so you go through the line and pull out. Now once I'm done with the halfway, I'll use the same 0.5 guard or half guard with the lever all the way up, meaning that the lever or the blade is closed, helping to remove the rest of that line. And if that line does not completely come out, it's okay, because I'll be following up with no guard halfway to completely take that line out. Now you see here, I still have the half guard on. I'm going in with the clipper tilted, using the very corners of the blade or the corner of the blade to get all the dark spots. Now if I was to go in there with a full blade, I'm definitely going to create another line, which I don't want to do. So utilizing the corner of that blade helps you to go a little bit higher to hit those dark spots. And as you flick out, because literally you're only using maybe 1 to 2 corners of the teeth for that blade. Now you can see I'm utilizing that corner of that blade to soften up that middle line now. As you can see how everything is just starting to come in play. Everything is disappearing. The taper is coming in. The blend is coming in nicely. Lever all the way down, still utilizing that corner of that blade, hitting those dark spots, which allows me to go a little bit higher. It allows me to use that corner of that blade, because I'm only literally using maybe 1 or 2 teeth of that corner of that blade, which is allowing me to go a little bit higher, to go up that high. See here, I'm going in, clipper all the way closed. As you can see, as I'm pointing out here, using the C motion or the flick out motion, and also using the corner of that blade, lever is halfway, lever meaning it's in the middle, to remove the rest of that middle line that I went over to soften up with the half guard or the 0.5. A lot of times that 0.5 does not completely remove that middle line, but it does help to soften that line up. So when I do go over it with the lever no guard halfway, it completely removes. As you can see here, tilting that clipper using the very corner of those teeth of that blade to get that nice clean transition instead of using the full blade. As you can see here, I'll be lever playing, still using that middle or the halfway, the lever halfway, just to clean up that taper. You can see that taper is cleaned up. Now I'm going in with my liners. Now with the tapers or even the fades, I do go over, once I do my lineups, I do clean up and go back to detail, which I did not show for this taper, but I do go over with my liners at the very bottom of that line. Like with the taper, if you've seen at the beginning of the video, I did put in that indication line with the liners, which gives it the most closest to the skin. And a lot of times the clipper will not remove that bottom line, so I'll go in to remove the rest of that line with the trimmers, kind of using the same, utilizing the corner of the blade and flicking motion, and then I'll go back following up with the clipper all the way closed to kind of help blend in the rest of that fade, that blend at the very bottom, which I did not show, but on my next video I will show that so I can explain to you guys better, so you guys have a visual understanding of what I mean. Here I'll be doing the lineup on this side, same thing I did on the other side, setting my indication line. Now I will stand in front of my clients just to see where my lineup started on the other side, and I will try my best to match it for this side. Now if it helps you, you can use a comb to line up the one side, whether you started your left or your right, and you can drag it across the forehead to match it with the other side, so that way you can have an even lineup on both sides, or even arches. You can see here I like to give it a few passes, clean up the very bottom of it. Now here I did not show the application of the enhancements or even the pencil, but as you can see here, you can see how the taper actually looks with the enhancements and the pencil line as well, and it just helps, the enhancement helps the cut itself to make it pop. It also fills in those empty spots or those lighter spots in the hair, but gives it a nice fuller look. And then to follow with the pencil, it just helps it give it that nice clean ash line, and it helps it also pop. As you can see here, as I'm using the razor, I'm stretching the skin. If you don't stretch the skin, chances are you will nick the client with the razor, and I'm sure you don't want to do that, and the client doesn't want that as well. And with the pencil, I don't like to apply the pencil super wide. I like to sharpen it, give it that nice thin line. So as I'm pulling or stretching the skin out, as I'm using the razor to sharpen up that lineup, I'm also dragging the pencil into the lineup to help it give it that nice sharp clean look, as you can see here, using the corner of that razor. You want to make sure you don't want to apply pressure, just let the razor do its thing. And now I'll be lifting up my client. I'll be turning him facing the mirror. You can see how that taper just comes together with the enhancements in the pencil. and the sharpness of it, I'll be holding a separate mirror so you can see the combination of the side taper and the back taper. And this is the mid taper with enhancements and the pencil. I appreciate you watching or making it to the end of this video. This is Fadenetics, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless.